say, of course, a special thank you to Bhai Kishan for a beautiful selection and a wonderful darshan and blessings. My dear friends, devotees and bhaktas, this evening we are about to join in another beautiful katha, a wonderful pravachan taken from the golden pages of the Ganesh Upasana. Before we join in our puja this evening, our katha, let me say, of course, a special thank you to our very own Pandit Madan for performing our Vedic puja, our worship and oblations to the feet of the respected Devis and Devotees, preparing for this evening's katha and devotion. To Pandit Aaron joining with us this evening, beautiful bhajans and kirtan, may Bhagwan Ganapati richly bless you. To all you wonderful bhaktas and devotees, Shubh Swagatam and welcome to this evening's Sandhya. My dear friends and devotees, Krauchai, please stand as we join in our opening Aarti. Om Sajam Chavarti Samyuktam Vahinayochitamaya Deepa Grihana Devasya Trihilokyati Mirapaham Yani tani cha papani janme hirditani cha tani vanashyanti parakshana prade Ganapati ki seva mangal meva seva se sab vigna tare तीन लोक के सकल देवता भार परे निज अरज हरे हे सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता देवता है सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता रिद्धि सिद्धि के धक्षण माला और अनंत से चतुर रे धूप दीप और लिए आरती भक्ति करे जयकार करे हे सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता देवता है सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता ओम गं गणपते नमः गौरी के मोदक भोग लगे है पोषक वाहन चरह परे समारोह लिए श्री गणपति को विघ्न बरे जय दूर परे हे सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता देवता है सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता भदो मासोद शुक्ल चतुर्थी तीन धूप आपतुर पड़े लियो जन्म गणपति प्रभु जी के पार्वती मन आनंद पड़े हे सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता देवता है सुख करता गजानन है बोले गजानन स्वामी की गजानन स्वामी की ओम गं गणपते नमः एक दंत गजवरन विनायक त्रियनंद रूप रे पराक्रम मोर ढेक पुष्ट से एक चंद्रमा हस्त करे। हे सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता, देवता है सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता। दियो श्राप श्री चंद्रदेव को, काल दीनता खात करे। चौरलोक में फिरे गणपति, तीन भवन में राज करे। हे सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता, देवता है सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता। गजानन स्वामी की, गणेश भगवान की। ओम गम गणपते नमः। गणपति पूजा नित्य करे से, काम शुभ निर्गुण सरे। करे पूजा और करे आरती, यष्ट करे चितनंद प्रदे। हे सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता, देवता है सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता। हे सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता, देवता है सुख करता गजानन है दुख हरता। गजानन है दुख हरता, गजानन है दुख हरता। बम बोले हरे मोर मन कामना पूरा करे। बम बोले हरे मोर मन कामना पूरा करे। मोर मन कामना पूरा करे, मोर मन कामना पूरा करे। बम बोले हरे मोर मन कामना पूरा करे। बाबा के नाम पर गंगा की धार, पर गंगा की धार। बाबा की नाम पर गंगा की धार, पर गंगा की धार। सबके रतवा बाबा दुआ, सबके रतवा बाबा दुआ। बम बोले हरे मोर मन कामना पूरा करे। बम बोले हरे मोर मन कामना पूरा करे। ले लो बिहारी नंद लाला दैया मोरी ले लो। ले लो बिहारी नंद लाला दैया मोरी ले। दैया मोरी ले लो, दहिया मोरी ले लो, दैया मोरी ले लो। दहिया मोरी ले लो, दहिया मोरी ले लो, दैया मोरी ले लो। ले लो बिहारी नंद लाला दैया मोरी ले लो बिहारी नंद लाला दैया मोरी ले। जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव जोगी। जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव जोगी। अरे देखो तुम्हारा शिव जोगी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव जोगी। जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव जोगी। ओम नमः शिवाय, हरि ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय, हरि ओम नमः शिवाय। बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की, गजानन स्वामी की, गणपति बाबा मंगल मूर्ति Satya Sanatan Dharma Ki. You may have respectful seats. Once more again, Shubh Swagatam and welcome to all Bhaktas joining with us this evening. As we are about to join in a beautiful Pravachanam Katha, continuing our Katha from yesterday, before doing so, I invite each and every one of you to join with us in Pratna, in praying. As the Rishis and Munis gathered together on Kailash Parvat, they are asking of the learned Nandishwara to explain about Riddhi and Siddhi, the consorts of Lord Ganesha. And so this evening, as Nandi is about to narrate a beautiful Katha, he begins by offering salutations to Bhagwan. Pratham Dev Puja, the first deity to be worshipped. Before we undertake anything in life, we must firstly offer salutations to Bhagwan. We must firstly surrender to the feet of the Devis and the Devotees. And so today, as we prepare ourselves for Katha, I invite you all, let us torture our palms together, let us close the physical eyes as we surrender to the divine. Om Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om Bhagavan 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 हमें दया करो श्री गणेशाय नमः ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमो नमः ओम श्री गुरु चरण कमलेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री गोविंदाय नमो नमः. Salutations to Lord Ganesh. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirviganam Gurumedeva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapita Jambu Palasara Vakshitam Umasutam Shoka Vinashakarakam Namami Vigneshwara Adapankajam Om Karpura Gaunam Karunavataram Sansara Saram Bhujagendraharam Saravasantam Hridayari Vrinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sarige Saranye Triyambike Gauri Narayani Namostute. Salutations to the Guru. We bow to the feet of our Gurus. We surrender to the divine feet. We chant the Guru mantra. We reflect on the teachings of the Guru. This evening, we surrender to the feet of all the Brahman Devatas joining with us this evening. Shri Guru Charana Sarojar Ja Nijamana Mukura Sudhan Barano Raghubara Vimalayasha Jodayaka Parta Bonahina Tanu Janike सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा. Salutations to Saraswati Mata. We join in Saraswati Vandana. सरस्वत्यै नमः. एक बार बोले सरस्वती माता की जय. My dear friends, devotees and bhaktas, a beautiful katha taken from the golden pages of the Ganesh Upasana. As Ganapati Baba sits on Kailash Parvat, Nandishwara is asked to narrate about the greatness of Riddhi and Siddhi. Who is Riddhi and Siddhi? We are accustomed whenever we see Ganapati Baba, especially during the time of the Ganesh Ustav, we will see that there are two ladies to the two sides of Lord Ganesh. They are Riddhi and Siddhi. Nandishwara, he tells to the Rishis and the Munis that once Lord Ganesh had taken the decision to become Bal Brahmachari, as you would have heard in last night's katha. He was given a shrap by Tulsi Devi that he would become married And not to one, but to two. Ganesha sits on Kailash Parvat. And while he is sitting there, Ganesha decides to take moshak and to visit the home of his devotees and to roam the universe, visiting his bhaktas and devotees. From time to time, the Devotees will visit us. From time to time, they will come into our lives. Bhagwan Shankar visits us every day. At what time? Brahma Murat. What time is Brahma Murat? The time that we pull chadar. 3:30 to 4:30 a.m. every morning. Brahma Murat is when Bhagwan Shankar visits the homes of his devotees, because we are already supposed to be up and performing our devotion before the sunrise. Ganapati Baba is about to visit the homes of his devotees. And while he sits on Moshak, Moshak is taking Lord Ganesha throughout the universe. And as he sits on Moshak, immediately Moshak begins to sing. Moshak begins to praise Lord Ganesh. And while he praises Lord Ganesh, let us join this evening as we open our mind to absorb the Katha. We chant to Lord Shri Ganesha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah. Ashtavinayaka Ganapati Baba. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah. Ashtavinayaka Namo Namah. Lord Ganesha, why is he traveling upon Moshak? He tells Moshak, raise the volume a little bit louder. Tonight he is sending a message to us. And what is the message? Raise your volumes a little bit louder. Om Gam Ganapataye Sri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namah. Ashtavinayaka Bolo Ganapati Baba Moria. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah. Shri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namah. Ashtavinayaka Namo Namah. Ganapati Baba Moria. Ganapataye Namo Namah. Sri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namah. Ashtavinayaka Namo Namah. Ganapati Baba Moria. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah. Shri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namah. Ashtavinayaka Namo Namah. Ganapati Baba Moria. Lord Ganesha, while he journeys upon Moshak, he is seeing that the Devotees are becoming wedded. The Devotees are becoming wedded, and each one of the Devotees are now getting a consort. We all know Shri Ram. His consort is Sita Devi. Bhagwan Sri Vishnu Lakshmi Maya, Bhagwan Shankar Parvati Maya. Each one of the Devotees, they are now becoming married. Indra Devata, Indrani Devi. And so, Ganesha was studying and he's thinking to himself, when would I become married? Yesterday he didn't want to become married. But today he's seeing everyone becoming married. And because of the shrap now, he has to become married. And now he's thinking about it. And while he thinks about it, he's journeying back to Kailash. He feels a little bit sad. And as he journeys to Kailash, he meets with Parvati Ma. But his journey, and Moshak is seeing that Lord Ganesh is feeling sad. And when someone is feeling sad, what should we do? When someone is sad, what do? We say, boy, well, you know, not everybody's supposed to marry, you know. Maybe that is how you have to live your life. When someone is sad, we should tell them things to cheer them up. We should tell them things of encouragement. Maybe it's not your time yet. Your day will come. Everybody has a day and a time. Do not worry. Moshak, he decides to cheer up Lord Ganesh. How does he cheer up Lord Ganesh? He sings even more. This evening, as we sit here and we observe Ganesh Ustav, the celebration of Lord Ganesh, as we join in Katha, how many of us would love if we could have been there to cheer up Lord Ganesh? We all would have loved that, isn't that so? But tonight, I have a surprise for you all. Lord Ganesha sits before us, and we are here to make that Lord proud, to make him happy. How do we do so? By chanting together with love and with devotion. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Sri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namah Ashta Vinayaka Namo Namah Bolo Ganapati Baba Moria Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Sri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namah Ashta Vinayaka Namo Namah Bolo Ganapati Baba Moria Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Shri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namah Ashtavi Bolo Ganapati Baba Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Shri Siddhi Vinayaka Ashtavinayaka Namo Namah Bolo Ganapati Baba Moria Moria Re Baba Moria Re 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 Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Shri Siddhi Vinayaka Namo Namah Ashta Vinayaka Namo Namah Ganapati Baba Moria Ganapati Baba Moria Ganapati Baba Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah Ashtavinayaka Namo Namah Ganapati Baba. एक बार बोले गणेश भगवान की. Lord Sri Ganesha, he's looking at what is taking place. So he returns to Kailash Parvat, and upon returning to Kailash, he meets with Devi Parvati. Devi Parvati, she knows that something is wrong with Lord Ganesh. Just as any ordinary mother, when something is wrong with your child, if nobody could tell, you could tell. Isn't that so? If the child is feeling sick and he doesn't even say it, you get that feeling in your tummy. Where so I've heard. And you could tell. Parvati Mata, she knows that something is wrong with Lord Ganesh. She calls Ganapati Baba and she says, "Oh Ganesh, please tell me, why are you sad?" And Ganesha, he says, "Mate, all of the Devotas are getting married and all of the Devotas are getting their consort, but what about me?" And she says, "Ganesh, do not worry. One day to come, you are going to get married too. Remember what Tulsi told you? That one day to come, you are going to get two consorts. You are so fortunate. Do not worry." But Ganesha, hearing the words of Parvati Mata, Parvati Devi sits there. Nandi is looking at what is taking place. And Nandi is saying, Ma, you really think Ganesha is going to get married? Jai Bhagwan. Never judge a book by its cover. Nandi sits there very quietly and doesn't utter another word. But why is Lord Ganesha is there? And why is he listening to the words of Parvati Mata? He goes to Lord Shiva. He says, "O Pita, why no one loves me? Why am I not getting married?" And Lord Shiva, he doesn't know what to say. But again, he reassures Lord Ganesh. He says, "Do not worry. One day to come, you're going to get married." In life, nothing happens before its time. We may want things to happen before its time. We may plan, we may make the greatest plans, and then Jai Bhagwan, nothing happens. Because we make plans, but Bhagwan have a greater plan. Bhagwan has the final say in everything. And once we journey in this gift of life, we are reminded this evening that nothing happens before its time. Bhagwan Shiva sits on Kailash and he's thinking, what can I do? But once Lord Ganesh goes to Parvati Mata and Lord Shiva, Moshak is looking at everything. Moshak is looking at everything that is taking place, and Moshak is listening to Lord Ganesh. Moshak is one of the greatest bhakta of Lord Ganapati. Moshak is one of the greatest bhaktas of Lord Ganesh. He doesn't want to see his Lord sad. Moshak, he has a plan. And what is the plan that Moshak has? Rikatata Swas this evening. Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva. Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva. Oh Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva. Oh Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva. Kachu Moshak Tuma Janu Sayani. Kachu Moshak Tuma Janu Sayani. So burhi hama kahu ban kiyo. So burhi hama kahu ban ki. Jai Ganesha. Moshak, he thinks, I want to help my Lord. I want my Lord to become successful. I want my Lord to become married. And what he does? Moshak calls all of his friends. Who are the friends of the Moshak? A lot of Moshaks. He calls all the Moshak. If one Moshak comes into your house, what has happened? After one you see two, then three, then the whole family inside. The Moshak goes and he calls the other Moshaks and he's telling to them, listen, you all owe me something and today I want you to pay that. Today you must pay that debt. And the Moshaks ask him, what can we do? And he's saying, my Lord is sad. When he sees all the Devotees becoming married, he's sad. And I want my Lord to smile once again. How many of us in today's world do things to make God proud? How many of us in today's world do things for God to be happy? How many of us do things in today's world to make others happy? How many times when we are about to do something, we think about how would it affect others? Would it make them happy? Or would it make that person sad? Or do we only think about ourselves? Tonight the Katha is teaching us, we must always think about the happiness of others. Many times we think about our own happiness, which is good, but we must also think about the happiness of others. When you make yourself happy, when you die and you go, that happiness and that legacy goes with you. But when you make others happy and you die and you leave this world, your name lives on forever. How many of us make God proud? How many of us serve our dharma to make God proud of us as His dutas and His bhaktas? Crouch is about to serve his God. He tells the Moshaks that I want to make my Lord Ganesh smile. So listen what we are going to do. What are they going to do? The Katha tells to us. Kaha Brahmani suno Moshaka. Kaha Brahmani suno Moshaka. Maina pujan Ganapati, Maina pujan Ganapati. Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva. Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Deva. Oh Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha. Bure Gachanand Swami ki. Moshak tells to all of the Moshaks that we are going to make our Lord Ganesh happy. We are going to serve him. And the Moshaks will go wherever there is a wedding. And as the wedding procession leaves, back in those days, the road would have been made with what? With dirt. And the roads, as they are made with the dirt, the Moshaks, as the wedding leaves, they will leave in front. And as they leave in front, they will begin to dig up the road. And as the chariot is coming, one of the foot will go down in the hole. And while he's about to pull out that foot, the next one goes down in the hole. Doesn't this remind you of the roads in Trinidad? When you miss one hole, it's because you hit two. Just what evening I was coming under the, I think that's a walkover, right? Jai Bhagwan. Good thing I didn't come with a little white car. I didn't need shocks and suspension and everything. As the horse, one of its foot will go down in the hole, the other will go down as it pulls out the other one. The Devotees are in distress. No one wants to follow the weddings because the roads are so terrible. And whilst the Devotees are in distress, they begin to pray. Who do they pray to? They are praying to Indradev, the Lord of the Devotees. And they are asking of Indra Devata, Bhagwan, why we are faced with so much obstacles in our path to our wedding ceremony? And Indradev, he says that Lord Ganesha, he wants to become wedded. But because he doesn't have a dulahin, and because the wedding cannot take place, because of this, the Moshaks want to make their Lord happy, and they are creating these obstacles. The Devotees, they are advised by Indradev to pray to the Lord who is the creator of the universe. Who is the creator? Brahmaji. And ask of Brahmaji to rid you of this obstacle by creating that dulahin for Lord Sri Ganesh. The Devotees begin to pray to Brahma. And whilst they are praying to Brahma, the Katha tells to us what takes place. Sri Ganesh Sharanam Mama, Sri Ganesh Sharanam Mama, Sri Ganesh Sharanam Mama, Bolo Sri Ganesh Sharanam Mama, Sri Ganesh Sharanam Mama, Sri Ganesh Sharanam Mama, Sri Ganesh Sharanam Mama, Bolo Sri Ganesh Sharanam. कनकाबासन भरी विपुला ब्राह्मण दे पर शिर नवा ब्रह्मा पर राम सुख पाए रे से गणाए बोलो श्री गणेश शरणम मम श्री गणेश शरणम मम श्री गणेश शरणम मम बोलो श्री गणेश शरणम मम प्रभु श्री गणेश शरणम मम बाबा श्री गणेश शरणम. The Devotees begin to pray to Brahma. And why is they praying to Brahmaji? Brahmaji, my dear friends and devotees, he listened to the cry of the Devata. Every night thus far in our yajna, I will remind you of one thing. And tonight I remind you again. Whenever we have a problem, who do we turn to? Oh, Bhagwan. Oh, you don't have to afraid to answer, I know. Whenever we have a problem, who should we turn to? Bhagwan. By whatever name you may call God, by whatever form you may visualize God to be, you turn simply to God. The very bhajan says, Ishwar Allah, Tere naam sabko sanmati he Bhagwan. Sanatan Dharma teaches us that God has taken many different forms. We may call Bhagwan by different names, or we may visualize God by different forms. Whenever you have a problem, simply take your problems to God and seek the blessings of Bhagwan. The Devatas have taken their problem to Brahmaji, and Brahma is going to rid them of this problem. Brahma begins to create two beings, two celestial beings. And why is he creating them? The news reaches to Lord Shiva. The news reaches to Lord Shiva. O Kailash ki Raja, your son is going to get his two wives very shortly, very soon. You are going to have daughter-in-laws. And Lord Shiva begins to smile. But Lord Shiva doesn't believe the words of others. How many of us in today's world, when you have a child, and you don't know if your child have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but the neighbor down the road see him talking to somebody, come home and say, John, you're getting to Lahin soon, boy. Start to build tent. And that has happened long time. Bhagwan Shankar doesn't take this. He says, I must see first. What is he teaching us? In today's world, people may tell us all sorts of things. It may be true, it may not be true. But we must not believe what others say until we have facts. In today's world, from the time we hear somebody say something, and worse yet if it is something we want to hear, well, we take that and we run with it. Isn't that so? Katha is teaching us. Never believe what we hear from others until you have facts. Bhagwan Shankar, he sits there and he's waiting. And why is he waits for quite some time? Most shaks are creating problems. They are creating havoc for the Devatas. Brahmaji finally appears to Kailash. And as he appears to Kailash, he bows to the feet of Nandishwara. He tells to Nandi that I am here to meet with Gopinath, with Bhagwan Shankar. For Lord Shiva, I have some great news for him. And also I have some great news for Ganesha. But before I give this news to Ganesh, I must firstly give the news to Lord Shiva. Before we become married, we must have whose blessings? Your parents' blessings. According to our dharma, before you become married, you must have your parents' blessings. Brahmaji decides that he goes to Lord Shiva before he goes to Ganesha. And as he goes to Gopinath Baba, the Katha tells to us what takes place. Redhi Siddhi Shri Ganesh Maharaja Mere. Redhi Siddhi Shri Ganesh Maharaja Mere. Parvati Mata, Parvati Mata, Parvati Mata Shiva Bola Baba Sri Gol Se Bete. Parvati Mata Shiva Bola Baba Sri Gol Se Bete. Redhi Siddhi Shri Ganesh Maharaja Mere. Redhi Siddhi Shri Ganesh Maharaja Mere. Parvati Mata Shiva Bola Baba Sri Gol Se Bete. सत्य सत्य राजा करे मानी है. सत्य सत्य राजा करे मानी है. ब्रह्मा सोना का भोला मृदुवानी गणेशा. ब्रह्मा सोना भोला मृदुवानी सोना गणेशा. रेडी सिद्धि श्री गणेश महाराजा मेरे. रेडी सिद्धि श्री गणेश महाराजा मेरे. पार्वती माता शिवा बोला बाबा के गोल से बैठे. पार्वती माता शिवा बोला बाबा से गोल से बैठे. Brahma ji, as he meets with Lord Shiva, he says, "Oh Bholenath, I know that you have a big problem. I know that your mind is thinking a lot these days. Lord Ganesha wants to become wedded. The Devotees are faced in a situation where their processions are being disturbed. They have prayed to me as the creator, and I have created two beings. I have named them Riddhi and Siddhi, because they are the perfect match for Lord Sri Ganesh. In today's world, Bhagwan has blessed each and every one of us with a consort. Maybe sometimes we pick up the wrong consort and we have to try again. But in life, we all have that special person. And because of our karma, we are faced with different challenges, different trials and tribulations. But Bhagwan has created someone for everyone, I believe. Brahmaji, he has created Riddhi and Siddhi according to the Shrab. And he says they are the perfect match for Lord Ganesh. Bhagwan Shankar, hearing this, he begins to smile. But Moshak is there, none of them is aware that Moshak is there. Because Moshak is very chota. Moshak is there, Moshak hears this. Moshak goes to Lord Ganesh. When you have a friend, and long time they're setting up a wedding for you, arranged marriage. And your friend here before you, boy, Dulahin come in. Prepare yourself, Wednesday they bring in the girl to see you. Who does tell you first? And your friend does run, come and tell you first. Lord Ganesha hears everything, and Ganesha runs and he goes to Ganapati. And he says, "Oh Ganesh, suniye. Listen, suno, oh Ganesha." What he says with his son. सुनो गणेशा करना ध्यान करनाई. सुनो गणेशा करना ध्यान करनाई. रिद्धि सिद्धि के सोनो सकल कस जानी है. रिद्धि सिद्धि सुना प्रसाद जानी है. रिद्धि सिद्धि श्री गणेश महाराजा मेरे. रिद्धि सिद्धि श्री गणेश महाराजा मेरे. पार्वती माता शिवा भोला बाबा श्री गोल से बैठे. Moshak says, "Oh Ganesh, two Dulahin is coming, and her name is Riddhi and Siddhi. They are the daughters of Brahmaji. Brahmaji says they are the perfect match to you, and Ganesh begins to smile. Imagine yesterday, Lord Ganesh didn't want to get married. Moshak says to Ganesh, you got two opportunities and you turned them down. Durva came, and what Lord Ganesh told her? Nahi. Tulsi came, and what he told Tulsi? Nahi. Ganesha is thinking now, I've turned down two. Would these two be the right choice? Sometimes in life we pick and we pick and we pick till we overpick. Isn't that so? He's studying. But then Moshak says, Brahmaji has said that these two are the perfect match for you, Ganesh. So have no fear. If Brahmaji has said such, then do not worry. Ganesha, he begins to smile. Nandi hears this and Nandi begins to prepare for a wedding. And they are beautifully bedecked in Kailash. And what takes place with his son? पूजन गणपति गौरी रानी है रानी पूजे गणपति गौरी गानी रानी है तब ब्राह्मण कहे सब तुम्हें जानी है तब ब्राह्मण कहे सब तुम्हें है रेडी से दी श्री गणेश महाराजा मेरे रेडी से दी श्री गणेश महाराजा मेरे पार्वती माता ओ पार्वती माता शिवा बोला बाबा श्री गोल से बैठे पार्वती माता शिवा बोला बाबा श्री गोल से बैठे पार्वती माता शिवा बोला बाबा श्री गोल एक बार बोले गजानन स्वामी की और ये सिरा जय लको या हैप्पी फॉर लॉर्ड गणेश बोले गजानन स्वामी की गणपति बाबा Lord Ganesha, he's very happy. He's excited. But why is he excited? Moshak is more excited. Nandi is more excited. When you are getting married, your friends are more excited than you. Why? Somebody don't answer. Moshak is saying that I am going in this wedding. Nandi says that I want to be the vehicle to this wedding. And whilst they are making beautiful preparations, Ganesha goes to Bhagwan Shiva and Devi Parvati. He says to Parvati Mata and Lord Shiva, Prabhu, do I have your blessings? I am going to enter into the Grihas Ashram. Grihas Ashram is the householder life. Grihas Ashram is one in which one enters after performing the Vivaha Samskar. Long time our parents would have told us, after you're married, you're on your own. Isn't that so? They block up a little room and they say, well, from there, you fix up. Because you have entered into the Grihas Ashram, the householder life, the family life, where you must now provide for your dulahin, and you must now provide for your children and their welfare. When we are about to enter into the Grihas Ashram, we must have our parents' blessings. Without your parents' blessings, my dear friends and devotees, things may not be to the best. Why your parents' blessings? Your parents are your Bhagwan upon the earth. Your parents are your God upon the earth. You may not agree with them every time. We are humans, it happens. But we must remember they are your God upon the earth. And once they are your God upon the earth, you must always adore them, appreciate them, and seek their blessing and darshan. And so, Ganesha goes to Bhagwan Shankar, and Lord Shiva says, oh Ganesh, you have our darshan. You will be successful. You will make a great husband. And whilst they prepare to perform the prescribed rituals, Lord Shiva, he says to Ganesh, firstly, you must of course perform the Hardi ceremony. Why the Hardi ceremony is done? The Hardi ceremony is done for purification. Many times you think the Hardi ceremony is done and the Hardi is besmeared on the skin to give you a little color. I could tell you that will work. The Hardi is for purification. The Hardi itself represents purity. And he says to Lord Ganesh, before one besmears their body with Hardi, you will be worshipped, O Ganesh, together with your Maya Gauri. Ganesh will be worshipped together with Gauri Mata. And whilst they begin to worship Ganesh and Gauri, Bhagwan Shankar is also worshipped. Have you ever noticed? In the Hardi ceremony, Lord Ganesh, Devi Gauri Mata and Bhagwan Shankar is worshipped. Why? Have you ever noticed that? Or you all are too busy on the day of the Matikur? You know, when you go to Matikur, they ask you, Baba, how long the Matikur will take? And when you start the Matikur, they say, Baba, you are going to explain too much, you know, people well know here. I remember going to a Matikur recently, I think sometime in July. And by the time I said Jai, I had to look out before people dance all on top of me too. Hara Hara Mahadev. We must pay attention to our rituals. Lord Ganesh, Devi Parvati and Bhagwan Shankar is worshipped. Bhagwan Shankar says these three represent the family life. And when these three are worshipped, you are now preparing yourself to enter into the Grihas Ashram. You are now preparing yourself to enter into the family life. And whilst they are performing the ceremony, beautiful songs are sung. Isn't that so? Beautiful songs are sung. And whilst these songs of blessings, Mangala Charan, Ganesha is sitting there. And they are worshipping Shiva and Parvati. They take the Hardi and they bless the Hardi. This is why, have you noticed when the Hardi is being besmeared, what is used to chew me? The doob grass. And the doob grass is very sacred to whom? Lord Ganesh. The Hardi itself is very sacred to Lord Ganesh. If you do not have dirt to create the Ganesh Murti for Ganesh Ustav, you can use Hardi and create the Murti. And once they are taking the Hardi, they take the doob grass which is very sacred to Lord Ganesh and they are chewing in him. Why? They touch various parts of the body. Have you ever noticed that? And these are called tapping points of the body. They are asking of Ganesh, Gauri and Shiva to protect this person during the Vivaha Samskar and during all of the prescribed rituals. When you are getting married, you need protection. This is why the Kangan is made. And when the Kangan is made, within the Kangan have doob grass, jawine, rice, flowers, a coin, a supari, and what again they put in it and tie it? Not a cutlash, a penknife. A penknife is placed there. And why is the penknife is placed there? Why is it placed there? For protection. Dumbraketu Dana Daksham Bala Chandrama Gajananam. You are protected by Bala Chandra. You are protected by Dhumraketu. If the planets even are not in your favor now, you are protected. And once the Hardi ceremony is surrounded by Lord Ganesh, Bhagwan Shankar tells that everyone who has to become married has to worship you first. And the Hardi must be smeared upon them first, and the doob grass must be placed on them first before the ceremony. Nandi sits there, and all of the Moshaks, the Gandharvas are even invited, the celestial beings, and they begin to glorify. They begin to sing praises. The appropriate songs are sung. And whilst they are singing praises, today we too join in offering salutations to the divine. Bole Ganesh Bhagwan ki.
आओ धरते मैया देखो मोरे अंगना देखो मोरे सावन हो आओ धरते मैया देखो मोरे अंगना देखो मोरे सावन हो तुम्हारे शरण मैया जग घटानो मोरे जग पूरन हो तुम्हारे शरण मैया जग घटानो मोरे जग पूरन हो गैया के गियावा से हो गया करे हो मोरे जग पूरन हो गैया के गियावा से हो गया करे हो मोरे जग पूरन हो
Once Lord Ganesha sits there, they besmear the beautiful hardi upon him. And as the hardi is placed there, Parvati Mata takes the coconut oil. And as she holds the coconut oil in her hand, she subs the mole of the head of Lord Ganesh. For those who are married, remember on the hardi night, Baba will place some of the coconut oil in the hand of your mother and tell her suck the mole. Why? When you are a child and you came into this world, every day she will suck that mole to bring protection to you. Isn't that so? To protect you, to protect this head, the softest part of the body. And as she performs the rituals, Parvati Ma, she sucks the mole of Lord Ganesha's head. And she says, "Oh Putra, oh son, you will be well protected. Today I am finally concluding my part in your life. These Dulahin is coming and they are going to take care of you, but I will always be there." Have you ever noticed when the mother places the coconut oil, she begins to cry? And she hugs the child. You remember those days? And there she says, "My son, you'll be well protected. Today you have my blessing. Prepare yourself." My dear friends, Ganesha, he begins to sit there and he's smiling. The beautiful bhajans are sung and praises. The wonderful worship is done to the respected Devis and Devotees. And whilst they're worshipping, the day finally comes, where Lord Ganesh is now being bedecked. But before they begin to dress him, they take him to bed. And they take the various articles, the dahi, and they begin to bathe him. Oh, you remember that? How did dahi smell? Nice, too bad. Every rituals in one life, every samskar, the hardi ceremony is done. Not only for the vivaha samskar, you know. When one is taken janev, the hardi ceremony is done for purification. And you'll be bathed just like that with the dahi, and your hair will be shaven out. And you will leave you with a churki. But for the wedding, they don't shave the hair, they cut it nice. They bathe him with the dahi, and they will of course catch what? The varke pani, the water from the head. I see all the old ladies shaking their head. Because this is where all the tanti and mausi them this day. Yeah, babe, don't forget to catch the water, yeah? And once he purifies himself, they begin to dress Lord Ganesh. They are beautifully bedecked in this Lord. He is dressed in saffron robes. The saffron robes are the color of Lord Ganesh. He wears silk. Lord Ganesha have different colors. Different colors, different forms, and different blessings. He wears the saffron robe in silk. They place the beautiful malas and the jewelry around Lord Ganesha. And Lord Shri Ganesh, he's ready. Parvati Mata, she holds his hand and she takes him very beautifully to Nandi. And Lord Ganesha, he sits upon Nandi. But Parvati Mata comes there and she gives him something to drink. She embraces him and she says, son, today I send you with my blessing. She offers Aarti to Lord Ganesh, my son, may no evil eyes take you. She places the Bera on the hand of Lord Ganesh. Long time that was something that was customary. They would place the Bera in his hands. And if the parents don't have, the neighbor will take out their Bera and put it in his hands. Nowadays you are doing that because you mightn't get it back. And once the Bera is placed there, my son, I send you looking like a Raja today. And he journeys beautifully. As he reaches to Brahmloka, they perform the pariche. The little balls are felt in the various directions. Why? To ward off any negative energy that may surround you. You are already pelting down nobody, yeah? But sometimes it hits somewhere. Sometimes I just get it. And the Aartis perform. And as the Aartis perform, they take Lord Ganesha out. And Lord Ganesha, he goes into the mandap. And once he enters into the mandap, the beautiful mantras are uttered. Mangala Charan. The worship is done to Bhagwan Vishnu Lakshmi Maya. And there, of course, a commitment is made. In today's world, whenever we get married, a commitment is made. Isn't that so? Everybody here can remember the marriage vows? Oh, Bhagwan. You know, marriage vows could get you out of plenty trouble. Or it could get you in plenty trouble. The marriage vows are exchanged where the Dulahin tells to the Dulaha that if in time of need, in time of illness, you're expected to assist my parents. The Dulahin tells to the Dulaha that at all times, if you are to leave our homes to go abroad, be it for work or for pleasure, I must have the assurance that our welfare at home is well secured. If you are to give or to borrow, you must have my, or you should know that without even knowing your vows. If you have to give or borrow, you must have my consent. In other words, I could shorten the marriage vows for you. Anything you have to do in life, get your wife's permission. And the Dulaha asked the Dulahin that in my absence, if anyone were to visit our homes, you should treat them beyond reproach. At all times, you should be punctual in your duties, your domestic duties. What does that mean? You get up at 4 a.m. and you make hot sada roti and fry aloo. Isn't that so? What the husband is telling wife? Make sure when I reach home and have hot sada roti there, right? Pot, pan and tawa. That was a long time thing, babe. Once it have bread, you're good to go. These are the vows that are being exchanged. If you were to perform any yajna, any religious ceremony, Pitri Yakshana, the Dulahin must be allowed to take part in it. If you are to build anything in the community or act in any community service, your Dulahin should be part as well. In a nutshell, you are one. And if either of you are to do anything, you should do it together at all times. When you are married, there's no I, and there's no you, but there's we. You become one. Spiritually, you are joined for how many lifetimes? 7. And so, Ganesha is about to place his Sindhu on the mound. And the Gandharvas are there. And they begin to sing praises. Mangala Charan, glorifying Bhagwan Shiva and Parvati. Because of you today, you have created this Ganesh. And because of you today, this beautiful union could take place. Holding Ridhi's hand and Siddhi's hand, Ganesha, they walk around the beautiful mandap.
Om Namo Bhagavate Gajananaya. 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 Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Kote Samaprabha Nirvikanam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakarishi Sarvada. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Kote Samaprabha Nirvikanam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada. Gam 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 Ganapataye Gam Ganapataye Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Gam Ganapataye Gam Ganapataye Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Ganapati Baba Ganapati Baba Jai 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 Ganapati Baba Ganapati Baba Ganapati Baba Jai 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 Ganapati Baba Ganapati Baba Ganapati Baba Jai 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 Ganapati Baba Ganapati Baba Ganapati Baba Jai 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 Ganapati Baba Jai 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 Ganapati Baba Jai 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 Ganapati Baba.
Bore Sri Ganesha Bhagavan ki Jai. Ganesh Baba, he holds the hand of Ridhi and Siddhi. And once he holds their hand, a beautiful energy flows from hand to hand. That spiritual connection takes place. You remember the day of your wedding when you firstly hold your Dulahin hand? And he was frightened? But I think that was a long time thing. I have to ask the old people. And once you hold hands, you would have felt frightened. But then they enter into the Vahan of Nandishwara. All of the Dutas begin to praise Lord Ganesh. And they finally leave for Kailash. Upon reaching to Kailash Parvat, Devi Parvati, she parichaya them and of course performs Aarti. She takes them into Kailash, and taking them into Kailash, she offers them something to eat. Atiti Devo Bhava. When someone comes to your home, or even when someone returns home, what you must do? We offer them something to eat, something to drink, and treat them to the best of our ability. When your loved ones return home from a day's work, or even when they go out and they return home, You always ensure there is something for them to eat. When someone visits your home, remember Titi Devo Baba, your guest is you give them something to eat. It leaves your home with a blessing. She welcomes them, and as they places their feet into the Parvata, the Parvat begins to glow. Because Lord Ganesha is now completed. A beautiful asana is prepared, where Lord Ganesha sits. Riddhi sits on one side and Siddhi sits on the other. And all of the dutas, they surround Lord Ganesh. Riddhi represents prosperity, while Siddhi represents spiritual blessings. Riddhi also represents intellectual blessings and prosperity. Hence she is called Buddhi as well. Siddhi, Buddhi, Prade Devi. She represents prosperity, intellectual knowledge and blessing, while Siddhi represents spiritual growth. Bhagwan Shankar looks at Riddhi and Siddhi sitting there with Lord Ganesha, and he says to them, whomsoever may worship Lord Ganesh will also gain the blessing of Riddhi and Siddhi. So when we worship Lord Ganesh, we are blessed by Riddhi, but in knowledge how to overcome our problems. Have you ever had a situation in life and you wanted to overcome that situation, and when you surrender to God, immediately or maybe moments after, a plan came into your mind? And everything worked out for its best? This is when you have the blessing of Riddhi or Buddhi. When we worship Lord Ganesha, we are blessed spiritually with spiritual growth. We become more close to our dharma, and we become close to our goal of life, which is mukti or liberation. So you see, when we worship Lord Ganesh, we are not just blessed with the removal of our obstacles and hurdles. And we are not only blessed with wisdom and success, but we are also blessed with prosperity and with spiritual growth. Once they sit upon the asana, the Devotees are very happy that everything will go smoothly now without any hurdles and problems. They are so happy that they begin to praise Lord Ganesh. And as they praise Lord Ganesh and they are happy for him, today we join in praising Lord Ganesh. Raja Ture Asana Pulan Ki Har, Raja Ture Asana Pulan Ki Har, Pulan Ki Har Saya Pulan Ki Har, Pulan Ki Har Saya Pulan Ki Har, Ganesh Ture Asana Pulan Ki Har, O Ganesh Ture Asana Pulan Ki Har. When are you going out with it, right? And the wedding come back. That's how it is clap. When it Dulahan sit on a big white throne that is have nowadays. Or it is clap like that? I just go in all the wedding, you know. And I don't see how you're clapping so. And I don't see how you're singing so. But I don't see other things. Tonight we may not be able to do some of the things or you just do. But we could do the Satvik one, right? At least clap tonight. Together. Pulan ki har saya pulan ki har, pulan ki har saya pulan ki har, oh Ganesh Ture asana pulan ki har, Ganesh Ture asana pulan ki har. लंबोदर हे विघ्न हरता, लंबोदर हे विघ्न हरता। देवा हो देवा, देवा हो देवा, देवा हो देवा, गणपति देवा। राजा तोरे ओ राजा तोरे आसन फूलन हार, राजा तोरे आसन फूलन हार। फूलन हार सया फूलन हार, फूलन हार सया फूलन हार। राजा तोरे गणेश तोरे आसन फूलन हार। गौरी पुत्र विघ्न हरता, गौरी पुत्र विघ्न हरता। रेठी सिरही और गणेशा। राजा तुरे और राजा तुरे आसन पूरन तिहार, और राजा तुरे आसन पूरन तिहार। पूलंगी हार सया पूलन तिहार, पूलंगी हार सया पूलन तिहार। राजा तुरे आसन पूलन तिहार, और राजा तुरे आसन पूलन तिहार, और राजा तुरे आसन। एक बार बोले गजानन स्वामी की। This evening Lord Ganesha becomes wedded to Riddhi and Siddhi, prosperity and spiritual growth. When we worship Lord Ganesh, these are the blessings that we gain. These are the two Devis that sit to the sides of Lord Ganesh. This evening as we terminate Katha, I will just fast forward a little bit, just for the information. Riddhi and Siddhi, Lord Ganesha has brought forth a daughter into the world by the name of Santoshi Mata. Santoshi Mata is the daughter of Lord Ganesh. Santosh means contentment. When we have the blessings of Lord Ganesha, Riddhi and Siddhi, spiritual growth, understanding, knowledge, wisdom, prosperity, we have contentment. We are contented with whatever we have in this world. Santoshi, we fast forward a little bit again just to give you the information. Santoshi has given birth to Shubh and Labh, profit and spiritual wealth. So when we worship Ganesh Baba, we are blessed with the removal of our obstacles, hurdles, trials, tribulations. We are blessed with prosperity, success, wisdom, knowledge, spiritual growth, contentment, profit in your life. But when we speak about profit, what type of profit? We think about profiting something in your business, huh? Spiritual profit, spiritual wealth. What is the true wealth in this world? Anybody knows? Your health is your wealth. Your health is your wealth. When you have your health, you could accomplish anything with the blessings of Bhagavan. And so this evening Katha has taught us about the family of Lord Ganesh. It has taught us so many wonderful and beautiful lessons for life. This evening I hope that you take some of these lessons and try to apply it into your everyday life and living. एक बार बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय. At this time we prepare for 108 offerings of laddu and oblations into the holy and sacred fire. Once you do so, my wonderful Bhaiya Pundit Darwin is here with us. And today, of course, being Wednesday, I ask him to lead us in a beautiful bhajan dedicated to the feet of Shri Krishna.
He Nat Nara Yunvasudeva हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा पसानि सा परम गरे पमग सरे निसा हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि केशव हरि गोविंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम वनमाली मुरलीधारी गोवर्धन गिरिवरधारी वनमाली मुरलीधारी गोवर्धन गिरिवरधारी वनमाली मुरलीधारी गोवर्धन गिरिवरधारी वनमाली मुरलीधारी गोवर्धन गिरिवरधारी नित नित कर्मागन चोरे गोपी मनहारी नित नित कर्मागन चोरे गोपी मनहारी गाओ रे नाचो रे रस रचायो रे आओ रे कान्हा रे गोकुल के प्यारे गाओ रे नाचो रे रस रचायो रे बोलो हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि केशव हरि गोविंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि नारायण हरि ओम स्वामी नारायण हरि ओम हरि नारायण हरि ओम स्वामी नारायण हरि ओम हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद हरि नारायण हरि ओम हरि नारायण हरि ओम हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की जय. I invite you all to please sit upright. As we are about to join our offerings this evening, we pray to Lord Ganesha Bhagwan. May you accept all of our offerings. May you guide us and may you protect us. May you bless all those joining with us this evening in devotion. May you bless their homes and their family. Prabhu, may you bless all those who have contributed in whatever way to make today's devotion a great success. Prabhu, may you bless them, guide them and protect them. Let us all pray. Om Ekadhantaye Vidmahe Vakratundaye Dhimahi Tando Dante Prachodayat. This evening, I invite Pundit Haran to lead us as customary in chanting the Beat mantra to Lord Ganesha.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha स्वाहा ॐ गं गणपतये नमः 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 स्वाहा ॐ ॐ गं गणपतये नमः स्वाहा 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 ॐ गं गणपतये नमः स्वाहा
ॐ एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो धन्ति प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा ॐ सर्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यो नमः स्वाहा सर्वेभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः स्वाहा सर्वेभ्यो ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमः स्वाहा Karabuchai, please stand as a join. And now Purna Mahuti, followed by the coconut offering, which leads into Aarti. Om Purnamidha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Shanti Swaha Achman Om Sarvapaparam Divyam Gangayam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanyam Mayaratam Grihanam Parameshwara. We found the fire. Banaspati Rasura Bhuto Yogan Yugan Yudamaha Agrahan Sarvarivanam Dupam Samarpayam with the Swati blessing. Om Bhutbhavaswatat Saviturvarenyam Bargodhi Vasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayam. We join now the offering of the coconut. Gam 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 ganapati 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 om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvigaram Guru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvara Bolo Gam 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 Ganapati Pure Sri Ganesh Bhagwan ki Gam 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 Ganapati Gam 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 Ganapati Om Gachananam Bhuta Ghanari Sevitam Kapita Jambupal Sara Vakshitam Umasutam Shuka Vinashakarakam Namami Viganeshwar Parapampajam Gam 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 Gachanana Swami ki gam gam ganapati gam 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 ganapati हे विघ्नेश्वर मंगल करता हे लंबो सब दुख हरता हे गणेशा गणनाया गणपति बाबा दया करो क्षमा करो रक्षा करो बाबा दया करो ओम गम 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 गणपति गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया। This evening, my dear friends and devotees, those who wish to offer your Aarti, there is sanitizer at the entrance of the stage. Please sanitize your hands, come forward, offer your Aarti, and receive the blessings of Lord Ganesh. गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया मोरया रे बाबा मोरया रे मोरया रे बाबा मोरया रे मोरया रे बाबा मोरया रे मोरया रे ओ बाबा मोरया रे मोरया रे बाबा मोरया रे मोरया रे बाबा मोरया रे वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा ओम गम गणपते नमः। बोले गणेश भगवान की गणपति बाबा मंगल मूर्ति ओम गम गणपते ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया मोरया रे बाबा मोरया रे मोरया रे बाबा मोरया रे मोरया रे बाबा मोरया रे मोरया रे बाबा मोरिया मंगलमूर्ति मोरिया मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे गणपति बाबा आओ चले बाबा आओ चले गणपति बाबा आओ चले बाबा आओ चले मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरिया ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरिया ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरिया मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे ओ बाबा मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे गणपति बाबा जय भगवान. Remember Ganesh Ustav. Ustav means festival. This is the festival of Lord Ganesh. When you are going to festivals, we around Shivratri time, or you don't say Jai like that. Ganpati Baba, Mangal Murti. Ganpati Baba, Mangal Murti. Bole Gajanan Swami ki. मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे ओ बाबा मोरिया रे ओ बाबा मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे गणपति बाबा आओ चले हो बाबा आओ चले गणपति बाबा आओ चले हो बाबा आओ चले रे बाबा मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे मंत्रहीनं गृहहीनं भक्तहीनं चराननं यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तरस्रमे कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृतिं सुबोधं करोमि यज्ञं सकलं परस्मै नारायणाय समर्पयामि. Together. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम जीव. हरि ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. Put hands clasped together. Turn to the person next to you and say, Jai Shri Ganesh. Jai Jai Ganesha, Jai Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Gananatha. Jai Jai Ganesha, Jai Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Gananatha. Gauri Putra Vigna Harta, Gauri Putra Vigna Harta. देवा हो देवा, देवा हो देवा, देवा हो देवा गणपति देवो। जय जय गणेशा, जय गणेशा, जय गणेशा गणनाथा। This evening, my dear friends and devotees, let me take this opportunity to say a special thank you to Pandit Madan for performing our puja this evening, to our srotas, to Pandit Darren and members of our group this evening. Bhagwan blessings to you guys, to Bhai Kishan and Media Concepts 29. May Lord Ganesha richly bless you and thank you for always carrying all of our satsang yajnas worship to the home of many devotees throughout the world. To all you wonderful bhaktas and devotees joining with us this evening, may Lord Ganesha richly bless each and every one of you. This evening I see, of course, my wonderful godchildren from Down Point joining with us this evening. May Lord Ganesha richly bless you. I see many of my godchildren with us this evening, and I extend Lord Ganesha's blessings with you. This evening, as we terminate our pravachan, our devotion and victory to Lord Ganesha, I also see joining with me this evening my wonderful Dhaya Vishal is here with us this evening, and it's a rare opportunity when he joined with us in devotion and puja, where he used to join with me night after night for years. But now because of so much commitment, he is unable to be there. But tonight, I'm really happy to have you join with us, and I would like to invite you to the stage because you have to lead us in a bhajan, otherwise the satsang is finished. So tonight, Bhagwan Sri Ganesha blessings to each and every one of you. As we say victory to Lord Sri Ganesh. Bole Ganesh Bhagwan ki! Ganesh Bhagwan ki! Ganesh Bhagwan ki! Jai Jai Ganesha, Jai Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Gananatha. Jai Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha Gananatha. लंबोदर हे विघ्ना हरता, लंबोदर हे विघ्ना हरता। देवा हो देवा, देवा हो देवा, देवा हो देवा गणपति बोल। जय जय गणेशा, जय गणेशा, जय गणेशा गणनाथा। उमापति महादेव की, आज शक्ति दुर्गा माता की, बोले पवन पुत्र हनुमान की, एक बार बोले पवन पुत्र हनुमान की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की, गणपति बाबा मंगल मूर्ति, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। You may have respectful seats. Whilst those who didn't yet come and perform your Aarti, you are given an opportunity to come perform Aarti, whilst Vishal will lead us in a beautiful bhajan at this point in time. Let me also say Swagatam. I have now noticed my wonderful Bhaiya Pujari Shivanand is here with us this evening. Lord Ganesha, blessings to you, and of course to your wonderful members, devotees joining with us this evening. My dear friends, devotees and bhaktas, here is an invitation to join with us tomorrow evening for the final evening of devotion dedicated to Lord Ganesh. And here's an invitation to join with us on Sunday evening for, of course, an evening of satsang dedicated to the ancestors of the mandir who has gone to the great beyond. We pay homage to them and we say thank you to our ancestors. For without them, we wouldn't have had this beautiful mandir here today. So on Sunday evening at 7 p.m., we join in beautiful devotion. And of course, we journey through the depths of Sanatan Dharma. Also, here's an invitation to join with us from the 26th of September for our annual Devi Utsav celebration. Of course, we will have the procession of the Devi Murti, and it will be posted very shortly. And of course, tomorrow evening I will have that information, what time the procession will take place. Be sure to join with us in our Devi Utsav celebration as well, commencing on the 26th of September. Jai Sitaram.
मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया। जय गणेश गणनायका 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 मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया। मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया। जय गणेश गणनायका मोरिया 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 मोरिया। सिद्धि